Hey guys, it's Jeff Duyon with my partner Robert Lemons. And tonight, what we're going to show y'all is what we've been working on the last few months. And what we've been using for the last few months is a Facebook bot. And ever since Robert launched this, I think beginning of 2022, anytime we do a webinar and he'd mention it, everyone would always say, "What about Facebook? What about Facebook? What about Facebook?" Honestly, we had a lot of other things that we had to do first, like get our own house in order. And Facebook wasn't high up on our list. At the time, I think at the time I wasn't even on Facebook that often doing deals. I was just getting leads from ads and other resellers that I connected with. But at some point I went back and in my brain, I was like, look, I was doing 1,500 to 2 grand a week in profit just on Facebook Marketplace in one city. Like I'm missing out on 1,500 to 2 grand a week just by not being on Facebook. And so I paid a VA to start responding to people and send to different stores that we do drop off locations. That's all like upper level stuff that we'll be teaching at some point maybe. But even then, we expanded to multiple cities where we had drop off locations, and there's only so many messages you can send per account. There's only so much that one person can keep in their brain organized, and so it only made sense at some point. Oh, sorry, Robert, I just muted your ass. You might have to ask to unmute, Robert. Damn it.
I'm good.
Are you good? Okay, cool. There's only so many responses that one person can handle. There's only so many messages they can send out. And even if they were on top of all of that, Facebook is horrible at ranking new items that get listed. And so you'll be on top of it. You'll be like a machine with it. And even then, you'll come back an hour or two later and you'll see this amazing deal that was listed 2 hours ago, even though you were on 2 hours ago, you were on an hour and 30 minutes ago, you were on an hour ago, and you did not see that listing. And you were pretty sure you searched through all the listings. And so what the bot is able to do is catch those before before essentially you would catch them. And as you already know, you only really need one or two good deals a day. And if you can manage that, you pretty much got a decent salary, if at worst case, on just Facebook Marketplace. But if you're not on top of those deals, then someone else is going to get them, and you're going to be one of those people that's like, there's never any good deals on Facebook. And the truth is, there aren't that many good deals on Facebook. It's the one or two a day or five a day that are good that you need to be very, very on top of. So, without further ado, Robert, you want to show them
Yeah,
you got going on?
sure. I'll add my screen to the mix. Yep. So, yeah, I think a year ago we built a bot for OfferUp. I think I've been using this bot for over 2 years now, but over a year ago we started offering it to other people. It was basically the main catch of everything we had on offer by then, because it was the lead generator. The problem was it didn't work outside the US, and it also didn't work in every city because of the penetration of OfferUp. And so we have built a Facebook version, which is very much similar. I'll just do a little recap what the bot does, and that's 90% the same on both platforms. You give it a list of keywords and a list of zip codes. And in Facebook, that will be locations or GPS coordinates where you want to search. And it will just cycle through the combinations of the locations and the keywords you give. So here I have like 5 keywords and I know a bunch of zip codes, and it will continuously query OfferUp for listings with these keywords in these areas. And then the first thing we do, we have a couple of skip words. So we don't message people that offer cases, chargers, screen protectors, and whatnot. And then we also look for the listing descriptions, and we make sure we try to skip stores, people with firm pricing, offer repair, replacement, financing, or down payments, kind of to avoid. You have a certain limit that you can do reach outs, and if you don't know about it, it's because you never hit it, but it's about 40, 50 messages a day, and then you get a soft warning that you cannot send any more listings, and then you can continue the next day. We hit it almost every day with the bot. So it was very important that you don't send messages to multiple listings of the same owner. You don't send messages to an owner that has multiple listings. So it's probably a reseller or store, or these kind of listings that are likely resellers or stores, or are unrelated items that you don't want to make offers on.
Or
Uh,
people flat out scamming, saying like, "Oh, they got to mail it or whatever." I think it targeted those, didn't it?
yeah, we skip on OfferUp. We skip listings that have shipping enabled by default, because we don't deal with those. Most of them are scammers. Um, then the bot goes through all the listings. It keeps track of everybody it sent a message, and every listing it sent a message. So it will never send a message to the same listing. It will never send a message to the owner of multiple listings. So if you send a message to a listing of an owner, it will automatically ignore all the other listings of that owner, just to avoid that you send multiple messages of your daily quota to the same user. And then there's alternatives. There's a couple of things we have seen where you get like notified, or a bot gives you an email with a digest of all the new listings, but then you still have to send the message, right? So the main thing that we have the bot do is we have it send a couple of messages. First is like this accepts spin syntax. This is very simple with brackets and bars, so you can have the message vary every time the bot sends the message. That's well, you will quickly understand how that works. It can ask multiple questions. It can, if it doesn't find the storage or the network, it can ask in various ways what it is. Then it can basically give you an offer message and a meetup message. So it sends multiple messages with the idea that people, their phones, they do a couple of beep, 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 ping, ping, ping. They get notified. And then what it also does, it deletes the message, or it deletes the conversation from your inbox after it sent all the messages. And that means that it will only come back to your inbox when the seller replies to your message. So here it does a couple of things. It takes away the tedious task of finding new listings. Then it takes away the task of sending messages, opener messages. And then you basically only have to deal with the people that are responsive to your messages. So that's about 80% of the work is done by the bot. You still have to close. So after it sends the opening messages, the bot will just stop. It won't keep track of that listing anymore. It goes to your archive or to your, or it's deleted. And when the seller replies to the bot messages, that's where you basically pick up, close the deal, and schedule a meetup. But really the idea is that the tedious work is done by the bot, and the selling or the deal closing is still done by you. It works almost exactly the same on Facebook. The only difference is really that we have to put coordinates. They're really easy to get from Google Maps, and all of that we will have a document how to set this up, or we can help you to do that. And it works the same way. So it looks for listings, it checks it whether you already messaged the owner of the listing, if you already texted that listing, and then on Facebook we don't delete them, but we archive them, so you can see all those messages in your archive. And here, just to give you daily stats, we scraped today 438 listings, 75 were new. Of those 75, 56 were single. Single means that the owner only has one or two for sale listings with our keywords. If they have 3 or more, we automatically refer to it as a multi, and we don't message them, because then they're very likely to be shops or resellers, and then they only get fuck yous, they flag you, and it's just a waste of your time. Today we sent 54 offers, and we basically have it running from 5 in the morning. So if we go to Messenger, here you see what the bot does. This is the archive. So these are all messages. Before this webinar, I archived. The bot has a function to archive all messages from Marketplace, archive all threads. That automatically archives everything that you have opened and read. So that helps you clean up your inbox. And then when we go to the Marketplace.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten throttled since you did that, I don't think, huh? Because I have
No,
thousands of open messages, right?
Yeah, but so what we do is when we send messages, we archive them, and Annalyn is the VA of Jeff who handles all the replies. She also knows that when she's done, that means that the deal didn't go through or the deal is closed. She archives it as well, so the inbox stays clean. That's manual. So here the bot opened up with what's the storage because it didn't know. Here it says, Jaden, sell me your iPhone. How much store does it have? What carries it with? And then it actually makes an offer. If it's locked with 64 gigs and the use condition, I can come to you. And then Jaden says, okay, come. So this is where Annalyn, the virtual assistants, would take over and send people to a drop-off location or meet with them.
Right.
There's really not much to it. It's very simple. It's we installed it's a Chrome plugin that you have to install, where we install the scripts. There are 2 scripts that they run. They are not detectable by Facebook or OfferUp. We haven't had our account banned in over 2 years. And the reason why is because we don't, well, apart from the automation, we don't do everything against the guidelines. They don't know that we're sending these messages automatically because all these messages are different, slightly different, all with delays. We make it look human, and we have only had accounts banned when we post as a buyer on marketplaces where you can only post as seller. Okay, so that's the kind of bot where we don't do. The bot doesn't do any posting. It only replies to other people, their listings. And I think we can happily say that we stopped spending money on Facebook ads about 2 months ago. That saves us $2-3 grand a month, and we get much more leads from marketplace than we got from ads. And the good thing about the leads from marketplace is that they're all looking to sell. Whereas if you run ads on Facebook, most of your budget goes to people that are currently not selling their phone. So that's really pricey. Most of it is branding. I think none of you guys are big enough to throw money at ads for branding. So this is really where the motivated sellers are, and we just try to get in front of them as soon as possible. Then I think the offer of today is kind of match your current buyers, help you out growing to at least 100 phones a month, where then you could learn more about the platform that we use on the back end. If you sell to us, there's a couple more things. I made a really nice presentation, as you can see. This is one of my talents. So the OfferUp bot and the Facebook bot, you get access to an app that we use while we're on the road. That's this app where you can enter IMEIs and get prices for all the phones. When you log in to this app, at the end of this call, you just need to go to phones.trade, click on join us, create an account, and with a Gmail address. And with the same Gmail, you go on sell.phones.trade, you double click the logo, and you log in with the same Gmail that you logged in on phones.trade. And that email you pass on to Jeff so he can add you to his team. And then what happens, you can use the app free of charge. Jeff will pay for your IMEI checks, all within reason, of course. The app will allow you to create a bill of sales for all the people that you meet if you want to. It's not required. We have a meetup scheduler that we use to just meet up with people. So we can set a location nearby, which could be a safe location or just a pin. And as soon as you create an invoice by adding all the IMEIs on the app, you don't have to wait for us. So we print your label. You can use the app, print a label to ship the phones to us, and then you can just create a new list while we're looking at your phones and we get you paid. Okay, so these things are all going to be available as becoming one of our sources. And as soon as you hit, I think 100 phones a month, we would be able to see if you're a good match to grow further on our platform and become, do what we do. I think that's it.
I don't mean to interrupt. What was that second website?
I got you. I just texted it.
Afterphones.trade. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
sell.phones.trade.
All right, cool.
I just put it in the chat.
This is mainly to
Appreciate
be
you.
used on your mobile phone. So this is like mobile first.
Yeah, and you know what? Basically, what you hadn't told them is that in order to sell to us, we have to keep organized. We basically want to get you organized as well. It's part of the program. And if you're not organized, it's going to make it harder for you. It's going to make it harder for us. And scaling is impossible. I had scaled up pretty high as far as like monthly volume goes, and I thought, okay, I'll just keep on hiring people. Well, dude, that was never going to end because it just got more and more confusing the more people I had. The app is for pricing phones, and keep in mind it's not an app, it's a website, so you got to add it as you have to add it to your home screen on your iPhone or your Android if you have an Android. And then the app is for it's for basically like you enter in all the ones you're going to enter. First of all, it's for pricing the phone, so you know what to price it at without having to. Like some people are resistant to this because they're doing custom offers for everything. I was resistant to it because I was doing custom offers for everything. But this allows me to just look at, okay, I got a 15 Pro Max, 256 unlocked, it's grade B. I'm offering 730, 740, done. I don't have to think about like, oh, is this person, did they need money? Like maybe I could offer them like 500 and like get an extra couple $100 in profit. I don't do that anymore. I can't do that. It's impossible. And so if you're going to sell to us those, you want to run through the full system with the bill of sale and the self-service labeling to where you can tell, like, we'll know what you're shipping us, and you'll be able to basically just buy a label through us, essentially with our money, and then you slap that on the box and send that to us. And then that label will have a sheet ID, and we'll know exactly what you're sending us to where you don't have to print up extra invoices or write us a note or any of that. Or even worse yet, just throw phones in a box and send it to us and hope it works out.
Well, the main thing we really do with the system and what we're trying to do for you as well is all the bottlenecks that you might think of having with other direct buyers is like not being able to get a hold of them, waiting for the label, sending them in one format, getting it back in another format, deductions, everything that causes delays. Everything that causes delays doesn't get you paid on time. So the app basically puts all the IMEIs in a sheet. We have access to that from the moment you start adding to it. The moment the phones arrive at our facility, we can just open that sheet. Everybody knows how to work with that sheet because it's in the same format for everybody who sends us phones. So we can just do everything quicker. Means you get paid faster. You get access to those sheets as well on your Google Drive, so you can review them after you sold them to us for your admin. We have a little reporting page where you can check your reports, see how much you've sold, how much you've made, et cetera, et cetera. We just offer you our tools for your business, and then later when you decide or when you grow big enough to start doing this for yourself, you're already used to run things in a certain way. That will certainly set you up for success scaling this business, in our opinion. So yeah, that's what those tools are for.
Another question is, does the bot send set prices or custom? And I think you told me that you can turn off the offers, right? And
So
so,
yeah,
it's kind of
so
their
there's
choice, right?
there's a little here in the content. There is the lowball message or the offer message. You see that it has a price. Where is it? Here, there's a price variable. The price variable is based on the prices on our website. So we check multiple direct buyers, and we deduct from there, and then we offer those prices. Those prices give you a little bit wiggle room, but those are our initial offers. If you don't want to send an initial offer, or you don't want to send the price, you can just take the price out of the message, and it will not quote a price. But that price is based on, let's say here, we go to this listing. This listing. Hey, how do I open the listing? There we go.
Yeah, you just had the thing in the way.
It's behind.
Oh, that's
so
that's an actual ad.
we buy phones. Okay, so this will probably be skipped. Another one. Let's go here. So here it basically gets the model from the title, then it's reconditioned certified. That's probably we quote it as a B. And then we look at the condition. There's no description. So here we would probably ask what's the network, what's the storage. But a lot of times it's also, we can find that in the description. And then we basically go on this app. And then we will quote, so this is an iPhone 14 Pro Max. So we would quote 568. I think the bot rounds up or down to $5.
Yeah, it rounds up to
price round up. So it will quote 560 on this phone.
Yeah.
So of course you always, when you get replies, you always go back to the images, because the bot doesn't look at the images. You're gonna make sure if the bot didn't miss anything, if the price is solid, etc. But the main goal of the bot is really to find new listings, send them initial outreach, and only spend your time on replies. Okay. It's working great for us. So I think it will definitely help you get a full inbox, like Mr. Jeff here. So this is all from, okay, these are all the, because I archived, wait. So this is all today's messages that were all initiated by the bot and then later picked up by the virtual assistant. So that's until here.
So you're confused, right? So if you have a $500 phone and the bot offers 100 and we buy it for 500, I mean, sorry, the bot offers 400 and then we buy it for 500. So the bot is just building you in roughly 20% markdown, which I just realized is more like a 25% markup. So
yeah, if it marks down 20%, you have a 25% profit margin.
25% profit margin, yeah.
And those are like, you know, the lowballing only, like we kind of
not much of a low ball, but there's certain ones that will be a little bit of low ball because it makes offers based on B.
Yeah, but like we stopped doing C and D offers because we didn't get replies to that. So the whole idea is get people in front of you, quote B pricing, which are generally not too bad, also not too good prices. We get responses on those. Those are the price. Those are basically the cherries you're after. And if there's any reason to lowball, a scratch, a blacklist, financed, whatever, that's always going to be in person, because when you have people in front of you and you have money in your hand and they need it, they're not gonna turn around. So yeah, the main thing is get people to respond to your initial messages, meet up with them, and if you do any lowballing, do it in person.
Yeah.
And it all depends. That, like, I've done this in Miami, it worked completely different as in New Orleans. Maybe you just pretend that you want to buy it for the price listed and you negotiate the price in person. That works.
That works when you have a location for sure. My buddy used to do that. He'd just be like, yeah.
Yeah, come over.
Come over, we talk.
So yeah, any more questions? Is there
I'm answering questions in the chat just about different topics. People were just confused on like, okay, like, so the price we're buying them for is the price we're selling them to you. Like, how do we make money? It's like, no. It's a $500 sales price, let's say, and the app is going to tell you to offer, let's say, 400. and then you're going to sell it for approximately 500.
Yeah.
We
The goal is that you
wouldn't
make
be talking to y'all if we were wanting y'all to buy phones and make no money and then sell them
And
to.
that's not to say that you guys aren't telling us we can't lowball. So if we happen to get it for
Yeah, you could.
300 in person, you know.
Oh yeah, that's like how you
I don't care. I
you
don't
get your
care.
phones and what you pay for them. That's
Right.
We just like one of the things we teach is, that's fine. You can do that, especially like if you're doing this very part-time and you're only getting a phone here and there, by all means, like maximize every single deal and lowball people, sure. But once you get to a point where you're making tons of quotes every single day and you're having to meet tons of people every single day, you're like, where did I quote you? Well, you don't have to wonder what you quoted them because you got a site, and at some point you don't have a choice. You have to systematize this way, or else you're gonna be stuck in custom quoting, and you'll have no choice but to stay small.
Right.
There's just no way, man. There's no way.
But I think always the lowballing always happens in person. So
Yeah.
anything you say is just to get the date, right?
Yeah.
Then whether you get late is all about what you say on the date.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, nothing's different here. Get them in front of you, let them smell the cash, and do what you can and what you do best.
That's what you do on a date, huh? You're like,
You're not
let
gonna
him smell your balls.
yeah, don't, don't you're not
So
gonna
one question I know
go
this was
into
pretty.
politics. You're not gonna ask about the vaccine before you go on a date.
Yeah. Look, one question. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to it, but just to get it out the way, right? So there's no like limit or anything to how many cities I can have my own setup going in, or
No,
add this bot to,
we
get.
like the only limitation of the bot is that you can only send messages to single listing holders, so people with 1 or 2 iPhones. We have another mode that we use personally to basically we actually approach shop owners and resellers on Facebook and OfferUp. But yeah, I don't think that's interesting for you
I
guys
usually
now.
have the hardest time with those.
Yeah,
I had an AT&T employee yesterday with 2 Verizon iPhones telling me that they're unlocked. I'm like, dude, if they're Verizon, they're not unlocked. Come on.
that was last year.
I mean, man, this is guy yesterday on Facebook Marketplace. He's like, I work for AT&T. Don't try lowballing me. These are unlocked. I'm like, dude, no, they're not. If you're working for AT&T, you should know this.
Yeah, he just might not have got the memo. And even if they're unlocked at this point, it's still a little sketchy with Verizon.
Yeah.
They're way on top of their stuff now. They went from like, yeah, it was all like willy-nilly and everything got unlocked to
They're saying 60 days now. Once you're in good standing and the account is good, they'll go in and unlock the devices, but it has to be active for 60 days, I believe.
yeah. Yeah, if you ghost out on your payments, no, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
Which is a bummer.
Good old days where the Verizon phones were coming unlocked. I miss those days.
But you know what the truth is, man? Look, you make the same amount. You actually make more as a percentage on carrier locked phones. Demand worldwide is, believe it or not, and a lot of times is better for locked phones. So it doesn't matter. Just
No,
because
for sure. And
just because you can give someone else more money doesn't mean you necessarily make more money.
right.
Unless
Store owners.
you're keeping those margins, right? If you're buying $1,000 phone for 800 versus a $500 phone for 400, you're making twice the actual net dollar profit. So, I mean, I guess it can work out, but all the big guys that are
100%.
going to sell to you know the difference. So it doesn't matter.
Jeff, your session is going to close in a minute, so I think we're going to call it a day.
Dude,
when
I
you
got
guys
that, I got that unlimited account, baby. No?
maybe you didn't pay.
Oh, maybe I didn't.
So yeah, just send Jeff the email that you signed up with, and we'll get you started.
Perfection. I am texting that to Jeff right now.
All right.
I will have the instruction videos out tomorrow. How to set up the bot, and then probably early next week, will be all the instructions of how to use the app. For now, just ask for label, and
yeah, anything y'all get hung up on, we'll be coaching through that. And we even talked about doing some some weekly or some bi-weekly coaching on scaling process and all that, because the more we can help you guys grow, the more you can sell us phones and so on and so forth. And I mean, that's what we're trying to accomplish. And then we're using this tool to help you guys, and maybe you guys will help us in exchange. So all right, cool. I'm gonna hit end on this call. Let me see.
Good night, fellas.
Oh,
Robert, nice to meet you too.
Later.
I think you have let's see. There we go.
I think it was my AnyDesk that got stopped.
Yeah.